An OG matchup here as we have got French up against Rus. West versus the East, and it is indeed the beast himself, Louis MT on the Francais to try and prove a point. Meanwhile, Myriad just looking for some free elo, bro. He's picked the most dominant Civ in competitive play right now, the Rus on Dry Arabia. Now, this is a very interesting matchup, actually. One that we have not watched in quite some time. Very rarely, actually, do you right now see people picking French on the ladder. I'm not sure if Louis randomed this Civ choice, but I don't think it's impossible for the Rus to play. The biggest thing for me in this matchup is I think actually the French need to play aggressively out onto the map for resources. Because what this usually turns into is 2 TC on each side into applied pressure with the Knights. And that's difficult to do as the French, because what happens with the Rus is that they are able to defend themselves to the Kremlin quite convincingly. But the upside, at least, that the French have compared to Rus is they have an earlier timing on their Knight play because of School of Cavalry, and they have a better production rate. That production rate only works, however, if you're able to afford it. Hence the need to play pocket resources. Opening a little skirmish. Not too bad for Myriad. Already up to 210 gold. So he has enough for the tech up. You're really looking for Wheelbarrow here. So far, he has not scouted north side. That should be happening soon. In fact, luckily for Myriad, he should get a glimpse of the deer here and then beeline to actually not just get the deer, but the wolf and 2 sheep as well. That is about as good as it gets. So fantastic for him. Means he will be able to afford both the deer, off the deer, you'll be able to get the wheelbarrow, and you'll be able to get the feudal age optimally. That's perfect, guys. Like, if you can get those 2 things, mwah. If you get more, you're off to the bank. In fact, he might get more. Myriad, even finding wolves on the backside. This is looking like a type of game where you could rush a Knight opening, which is really effective here. Because your opponent's going to have to go 2CC, right? Yeah, Louis gets scouted on the other. This is kind of Louis' fault, though, right? Like, he went 1 scout versus Rus, which is usually a no-no. He just tried to ignore the threat, and it did not work out for him. The deer splits were pretty wide. So far, his micro has been impeccable, though. Louis denied what? Was that 5 out of 6 deer here? It looked like it. A little bit slow on that one, though. So I think Myriad either got 2 or 3 of those deer. So Wheelbarrow on the way. Kremlin coming through as well. Still has the wolf to work with. Killed the one on the right side. This is perfect, man. This is like, what? Probably a 270 bounty game? 280? After the wolf, anyway. Okay, 250. 255 with the wolf. And he didn't kill this wolf yet. Okay, that makes sense, though. Dude, I know my numbers. So that's going to be a 285 bounty game. That's perfect, actually. I think people expecting a 300-plus bounty game, maybe if you're playing against like someone who doesn't want a micro at all. But at the highest level, if you're close to 300 bounty, you're swimming in the money. And the cool thing is because of the hunting cabin generating passive gold, it means he has the option to go for the stable opening if he wants to try and harass the French. In fact, I actually think the stable opening is kind of underrated for the Rus here. You still want to get your TC, but that first Knight can really screw with the French, because the difference is that your base is very defendable with this. The French base is not, right? They don't have an outpost. They don't want to build an outpost. If French have to build a spearman at the beginning of feudal age in this matchup, you're already putting yourself at a bigger disadvantage, right? Because for a start, that's 150 wood, and then you're spending 80 resources into a unit that doesn't attack. You want that optimal TC timing. So there is definitely an opportunity to punish the greed here. I'll have to see if Myriad wants to go for it. Why does Louis go vanilla French over Jeanne D'Arc? Is this some tournament practice? It could be a little bit of practice. I think French has some other advantages over Jeanne. The TC escalation is pretty cool, because you can either play 1 TC and over time you'll build an eco lead, or you play 2 TC really efficiently. You do it better than Jeanne, actually. The only upside I'd say Jeanne typically has is, depending on the matchup, she has more credence to build a TC on the flank. In this type of matchup, I think French are quite capable of doing that, though. And love the build from Myriad. He's doing exactly what we wanted. It's going to be the Knight first, TC second. This is smart. The reason it's smart is you know Louis is going to be trying to go for his Knight first anyway, so his TC time is going to be delayed. And now you can just sneak by him. And you will be able to sneak by him, because here's the funny thing about playing against the Rus that makes him a little bit absurd. He has free scouts. It should be impossible for your Knight to get in unnoticed and for him to not know where your scout is. So with that information, what Myriad can do is just avoid and move to your economy unseen. I mean, you can have your doubts that oh, wait, sorry. JD's no better than the French? They're different playstyles, right? The thing that's nice about Jeanne is Jeanne has more agency over the playstyle. Because you can be 1 TC all in, you can get more value out of Fast Castle than French, or you can go for 2 TC. Whereas with French, it usually feels like you're looking at 2 TC, right? 2 TC feels optimal. Little bit of a misplay there. Myriad almost losing the scout. In fact, yeah, if Louis just resets, that's a bit of a blunder. Myriad really shouldn't be losing any scouts at this point in the game. So less info to work with, right? And now he's riding a little bit blind. He's trying to get the info so the knight can go around. Wait. Myriad. Is this for a ball pull? Oh my god. That feels unnecessarily dangerous. I think there was a better opportunity to hit the enemy economy. Probably the worry for Myriad is that because he only went for 1 knight, it would take 3 hits to kill, right? Wow. And remember, it's always 3 hits unless you have the Bloomery here, right? Because the Lance does 29, then the Sword does 19. I think this is overkill from Myriad. I'm not a big fan of it. You have the Gremlins, right? If you're going to pull the Gremlins, you should not be guarding with the Knight as well. He's that paranoid he's going to get beaten by the French Knights. And you've got scouts on this, right? You can see exactly what your opponent's doing. He should be suspecting 2 TC if he didn't already scout it, which I think he did. To me, this is you getting an advantageous play with a good rotation off of scouts and then not using it. Way too defensive. He's finally moving out with the knight now. Love how there's another wolf he could have actually munched up there and just ignores it. Probably would have been worth getting the extra 25 gold there, actually. Now TC drop on the way. This might actually work out. Oh my god. I don't want to say this is planned. Myriad is very smugly going to say it was all according to plan here, but this feels a little bit lucky. He's going to find it. And with no knight here, Louis is in trouble. Villagers are going to have to pull away. The TC is not going to be complete in time, and that means Myriad has his TC up first and is now idling out the secondary from Louis. And look at the reaction straight away. Louis sends the knights home instead of sending them into the enemy base. Oh my god. This one knight may be a leprechaun in disguise. Because he's got the luck of the Irish. Even though Louis is the one in the green. I cannot believe that. This just changed everything about the game. Louis still going to get idled. This TC timing is worryingly late. And it's still going to be later, right? Like, more villagers likely to go down as the second one can be targeted out here. Good micro from Myriad. Even absorbs some of the shots from the scout, right? So it means he's taking less damage on the feudal knight. Second knight is on the way. Another charging. Dude, this is sick out of Myriad. His micro is so on point in this. So another one gets chopped down. He even gets away on 6 HP. Are you kidding me? Louis is not an easy player to out-micro, folks. Like, actually, Louis, like, from what I've been seeing him recently, I consider him to be a micro god. But god damn, he just got served. Another knight delaying the arrival. I mean, Louis, he needs to go and attack now is the problem. And it's going to be the full wall in. Louis typically does this when he's like, I don't want to play the game with you anymore. You know, like that kid where, you know, you change the rules on them a little? And like, this is not fair. That's him. Instead, he's like, I'm going to the late game. Screw this crap. I'm done with you right now. Is this a demonstration that JD would have been better? No. Because Jeanne, like, Jeanne here wouldn't have stopped you sniping villagers. Actually, Jeanne would have been worse against Rus. Jeanne is terrible against civs that have feudal knights. She can't handle them at all. In fact, fun little detail for you guys. Who do you think wins in French versus Jeanne matchups? The answer might surprise you. French versus Jeanne matchups actually favor the French. Because they scale more eco over time, and Jeanne can't fight. She just gets sniped every time. You basically can't screw up a single fight. If you do, you lose the game. Like right now in recent patch, they are 50-50 split. Previous patch, we're looking at French versus Jeanne. French was at a 47.2% win rate. I just don't think that's a genuine result, though. I've watched it a few times now, and I think it's like 65% French favored. 70% maybe even. Because, like, Joan, you have to go for range Joan. It's at least a little bit better now than previous patches because she moves quicker. But here's the thing. If it's better now in the current patch and it's still a 50% win rate, and French just isn't being picked, does that not say everything it needs to about the Joan-French matchup? High trade house now on the way for Myriad. Game is looking really good for him right now. The eco lead doesn't look big, but that's because you have to remember the French TCs produce faster, right? So they're shrinking the lead you built. But when you add in the hunting cabin gold and you're going to add in the high trade house now, Myriad is definitely not behind. Even if they were neck and neck on eco right now, he'd be ahead. Louis now trying to mirror with a tech up himself, but notably delayed. Difference in walls as well, right? Like, Myriad's kind of left the door open to a certain extent. He's just kind of condensed the flanks a bit. This is also a scary point in the game, because if Louis is going to go for Guildhall instead of Royal Institute, he's going to lose fights. Boy's Fortitude, right? Boy's Fortitude turns this into a disadvantaged fight for the French. Add in the fact that also Myriad can go into the Warrior Monks for gathering relics, but then also debuff. And you don't really have a situation where you want to fight in the mid. Yeah, and it is Guildhall. Okay, so Louis now needs to delay the game to reach Imperial Age. If he gets there, Arbitrary can be very, very powerful, but something I'm always reluctant with about Arbitrary in this matchup is your opponent will have Streltsy, but he can also have Mangonels, and you can't. Because you're going to go for Red Palace, right? Which means you're not going to have Culverins. So yeah, don't think this matchup gets easier for French in the hyper late game. There's certain elements that make them better, like the Guildhall just giving you infinite gold. But unless you starve the map, you never really see the value in that, right? And Roost now going into Horse Archers. This is a very aggressive build out of Myriad, and I like it. If he went crossbows, he's too slow, and eventually Arbitrary will beat you. If he went Archers, Arbitrary beat you. Horse Archers are quick enough that you're not going to be able to reach Arbitrary in time, and it becomes part of an active raiding force. Add to the fact that Horse Archers have high base damage, they do really well against Knights. Even when these guys get vetted up, 2/3 of the damage from a Horse Archer is going to go through the armor. And if this is crossbows, you can avoid it, right? Like, if this is crossbows, you pull the Knights out of range, you turn on them. Now you can't. Now you end up this sticky situation where you just have to keep running away or you get killed. Now, if Louis can micro this right, Chivalry can be his saving grace, right? Cycle injured Knights out, bring them home. The problem is, it's Roos in Castle. If you take your time, you're going to lose all the relics. The only relic that will be safe for you is the one you've walled in. Everything else in this game should now be going the way of Myriad. Chivalry has come through. Also, wait, what? Oh, no. That was a blunder. Oh, no. He clicked the gate. He meant to click the knight to get a charge in and snipe one. Oh, man. Luckily, he's still got the mass lead, right? So Louis not going to be able to contest him. Another nice thing about Horse Archers here is they produce quicker than the French Knights, even with School of Cavalry, right? It's 23 seconds versus the 29. This is scrappy for Myriad, though. It's funny he's still resorting to crossbows after all this. I'd rather he didn't. I actually like Boy's Fortitude and more Horse Archers. Without being mean to my boy, just need to micro better. All right? If it wasn't for that whoopsie on the gate and another one there, he'd be in a very good position right now. He still can be, but I think crossbows slows down your timing too much here. It's not that you should be scared of the late game, but you're in a dominant position. You can accelerate that lead. You don't need to take it slow. Boy's Fortitude, about to complete. A lot of attention being drawn. I would actually love it if Myriad just started sniping reinforcements. In fact, Louis is going to do him a favor there. Wait, what? He's like, nope, nope, I see that. I'm out of here. Stealth Forest Vision is weird sometimes. I can't believe that. He saw everything and Myriad saw nothing. Flash on the flanks now coming in. Ooh, Wall straight away. Louis, this is going to buy the time that Myriad needs. Reinforcements are now on the way. Louis is such a cocky son of a... Did you see that? The absolute last millisecond, right? He just clips the edge of range. Oh, god damn it. I love watching this guy. More troops on the way. If you use Saint's Blessing here, you can actually beat the French. Because the fights take longer than 5 seconds. You have Boy's Fortitude, you have the extra armor, the extra health. So the +4 damage you get from the charging of the Knights just doesn't matter here. Oh, sorry, it's bigger, isn't it? Like I said, +10 in Castle. Still, +10 for 3 attacks sounds like a lot. But you're basically just offsetting the extra health your opponent gets. But then they have armor and damage that lasts a lot longer from Saint's Blessing. It's bonkers just how bloody good Saint's Blessing can be in these fights. Fort Relic has been dropped on the ground for the time being, but this is looking bad. Louis is trying to go into Arbitraire with very limited food. He's switching farms already. Jesus. That's not a good sign, guys, because that means the next 5 minutes of the game is going to be incredibly uncomfortable. He's already spending way too much food on this Royal Knight comp. It means the Guild Hall is not going to be for getting you to Imperial Age. It's going to be for saving your bacon in Castle. However, if you're bacon, that means you might be a pig. And Myriad's about to make you squeal. Army breaking through the walls. If he floods in right now, this is GG. Louis has no army. This doesn't count as an army. This is a ragtag group of volunteers. So many crossbows from Myriad as well. Like the spearman crossbow transition, Louis didn't expect. You can tell. He was not prepped for this at all. You can't go mangoes either because your knight count isn't big enough to defend it. Your backline isn't thick enough to get on top of it. I mean, this is it. Louis, this TC should be going down. He's got to take a fight. Horse archers targeting down the Arbitraire. Knights being mirrored out. The Warrior Monks, just one touch and a golden glow is all they really need here. And there it is. Activates, and immediately the extra armor and damage means that Louis cannot fight. At this point, there are more Rus people armed in the base of the French than there are French military. Keep drop coming in on the back. Unfortunately, Louis is running him towards it. No. No. Oh, no. Louis, he might get this keep up, but I don't really know what it does. The TC is still going to go down. And you may have secured 4k gold and some food in the corner, but the rest of your base is in trouble here. I think this is just a snowball effect at this stage. Like, Myriad could actually go Imperial Age. In fact, it looks like that's where he's heading. He doesn't need to. He could actually just double down on units now and GG this game. Because the landmark's snipeable, right? Like, you could easily take out Guildhall and School of Cavalry. This keep drop might make it a little bit more annoying, which is why I'm expecting him to go Imperial Age. Remember, Myriad, I don't think he scouted this, though, right? We know about this keep. He doesn't. The walls coming out from this guy. Even men-at-arms. Like, I can't believe he's building men-at-arms when he's up against Arbitrary. A little bit unnecessary. People saying that French needs buff. I would remind you that this is a matchup like against the best Civ in competitive AoE right now. Rus just have so much agency over what they do. They're not linear with one build that's optimal. They have multiple different branching builds. Even if you think French need a buff, you really need to... You need to use other games as an example. This one's not a fair example at all. Arbitraire. Looking pretty depressing here. I just love the fact he used horse archers and they look good. I think it did matter a lot as well. It's all about timing, right? If you rushed crossbows out straight away, you would have lost the initial knights, but this is what got him here. Louis looking like he's on his last legs underneath his keep here. Second TC coming up again now from Louis, so still looking to recover this game. I mean, Myriad still hasn't teched, right? But we're getting closer to population cap, at which point it's going to happen. Visas aren't going to be dropped. Unfortunately, without Gambesons, it means spears even kill you. So army is going to be mopped up, right? But the price that Louis has paid for this, even if he clears them up, he's not got much left in a game where he needs to mass farms. They are coming in now, but other side of it, you can see Myriad's already setting up the pockets. Left, right, and center. All right, Myriad, we've had our fun. Let's just go in. Come on, buddy. At least secure the sacred sites, actually. That would also work. Alright, guys. I know how we fix French. French people really like cheese, right? Makes sense. They build knights and win the game. Cheesiest thing you do. What if they could make dairy farms? It's like a different form of cow. And you just grow cheese. It's like a unique mechanic, right? So like you can put X villages on a dairy farm. It's like you pay 150 wood, but you can put like 4 villages on a dairy farm. And it generates food at a similar rate to farms. That could be interesting, actually. I mean, it's either that or give them wine. I don't know how that would work exactly. It's not really olive oil, is it? Red pass drop. Really? Oh, wait. Wow. Okay. This is really important. He's wasting time. Clicking on the outpost. Louis, he could get back into this game. Like, Myriad has played with his food way too long. He should have been in the Imperial Age 2 minutes ago. Oh my god, not like this. It's not going to be like this, surely. It's only 10 villages. He sees it. Myriad on the way. Louis doesn't even know the disaster is in for. He realizes it too late. This is going to be a run and gun. If he cuts off on the south side, there's no way you can run and hide here. Red pass might go up, but you should be losing 20 villages as the price of entry. Oh my god. Too predictable, right? Like the gold play is now shifting to the north side. Luckily for him, the walls are not up there, but he's still going to have to pay a price over here. Looks like Myriad actually didn't cut across as quickly as I would have liked to have seen here. He went to the left side of the marketplace, so Louis, by some miracle, only gets out losing, what, 4 or 5 villages for that? That's wild. I can't believe he just got away with that. I mean, if this guy pulls off the recovery arc now, Myriad is going to be kicking himself. He's going to be face palming. Like, the position that Myriad was in this game, it's tough because I feel him, right? Like, nowadays, you have to have a more killer instinct. You can't just read. But I think this was an example, considering the keeps were up, this was a perfect, pristine example of a game where you go for Imperial. You do not mess around. He did. He decided to play Pancake. He had a bit too much fun. And now the Baker Man has come to collect. Louis is cooking. Farm transition, not looking too bad. 17 in, plenty of wood to finish it off. Mass Horseman also coming through, an interesting choice, but he is up against a lot of crossbows. High Armory is finally on the way. Now, Myriad should be stronger in this age. Streltsy, Horseman, Boys Fortitude, it's a big no-brainer. Add in the siege advantage that the French can't match, and it's a hard, hard battle. But look at what Louis is doing. He hasn't even upgraded the Horseman yet. But you know what his intent is here. Because he keeps the pass open with the Red Palace, he has a flank point into the enemy economy. He's going to keep raiding. He's going to try to raid his way back into this game. Take out complete. Myriad should have a better economy at this stage though, right? 35 farms in, pretty content. Trebs have been prepped. You have to go Trebs here. This keep drop would be sick if it hadn't been scouted with only 4 villagers building it up. More on the way. Wait, are you kidding me? Oh my. What? No, 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 Myriad, just build it. Just build it. For the love of God, build it. I cannot believe he almost lost that to Villager Torchfire. Holy crap, my heart. So Louis has a big problem now, guys. He's being gold starved. He's got a 4K down here. He has still got the 4K in front of his base. But the fat 8Ks have been locked in. Myriad has one for himself. And the other one, he has blocked his opponent from gathering from. In a game where he has 3 Sacred Sites, 4 Relics, a high trade house generating almost 200 gold, and God knows how much from the hunting cabins around the map. I'd imagine an extra 100, 150 at this stage. Horsemen aren't going to be able to breach either. He has at least finally got the enlistment incentives on the way, rather. That's not too bad. Also, another thing that's pretty cool, actually, that I don't really glaze on is the keep buff for the French. Remember, they get the keeps 10% cheaper than other civs now. I actually think that did help in this game for Louis. It has a very interesting effect on the dynamics of stone outcroppings. He obviously had the extra stone outcropping, but this keep was accessible even with his initial one, right? Because usually, like, you have 1,200 stone, right? You pay 350 for a TC, and then you expect to pay 900 for a keep. So that is going to be 1,250. The 90 stone discount means you can actually get a keep and a TC off of your initial outcropping. I actually think that helped Louis a lot in this game. Otherwise, he would have been up Craps Creek without a paddle. You keep coming in, Louis. Still an uphill battle from here. Myriad does have the military advantage. He has got Streltsy in the way. But Louis, already having his arbitrary, at least knows what he wants to upgrade. He just needs to find the gold to do it. How dare you say I'm French? I'm banning you after I'm done with this game. You're more French than me. I can tell by your accent. You come from closer to the Pupu lands. The little Francais lands. Awesome raid, not really looking impressive right now. Louis, I mean, the only thing keeping him alive right now is the Arbalest effect on these keeps. If it wasn't for that, Myriad would be diving. I'm more French than Marine Lord? That's not true. I haven't been signed to Gentlemates. What has happened with the Trebuchet Siege from Myriad? This Red Palace just feels untouched. Probably got repaired a little, right? But I'm getting really, really worried now, guys. Like, this game looked pretty much hook, line, and sinker for Myriad. But it's quickly falling apart. And I can't believe that, because you should have mass horsemen, you should have Streltsy advantage. Where is it? The Streltsy count isn't exactly spooky. The Arbitraries are more spooky. And that's without the early upgrade. That's now on the way. Oh my god. Dare I say he's doing it. He's definitely doing something. Trebs are at least sieging into the Red Palace. Gold gathering is still at least looking good for Myriad, but he needs to spend this. Alright? This ain't one of those ISA savings accounts. We're not looking to buy a house together in 20 years. We are looking to go to Vegas with this gold. The tough part is he can't dive the keeps, though. So he's in this awkward situation where you just build a reserve of resources. Seems good in theory, but it feels like Louis is getting more out of this. Crossbow stirrups as well as incendiary arrows. I mean, you know, the question's got to be asked, right? Is this in the bag for Louis? And you know what? I think he can bag it. What have I become? Cosmerade's actually tickling away as well. Myriad is not really shutting this down. You know, it's a handful of horsemen, but the damage really does add up here. He has at least got reserves to work with. And in some ways that can be freeing, right? That you can just switch over now into more military as a result. I just think Myriad is... He's in a bind here, right? Like, I don't want to say build bombards, but I actually kind of do, right? The Arbalists outside the Red Palace are not that impactful. You need a breach point. Louis has turned this into the most toxic game imaginable with keep drops. You know how usually you have games where, like, keep drops look OP and other ones where they look trash? This is one of the games where they look OP. Sacred Site victory is still in the way for Myriad, though, so Louis is going to have to make a move soon. Keep drops coming in on the flanks. Louis. Oh no, he gets spotted out. So gold gathering is going to be nullified over here. He does still have 2k remaining here. Has exhausted this area. The keep drop has been cleared, so he can go back on the gold over here as well. Louis needs this gold as well. Royal Bloodlines is on the way. At that stage, you can just play food and wood mainly for the horseman mass. But the problem I'm seeing here, Louis, if he can't break one of these keeps fast, it's going to be irrelevant. Like, long game, if this game goes for another 20 minutes, I actually see Louis somehow taking control of this, weirdly enough. But my concern is Myriad is well positioned to stop this going longer than an extra 4 minutes. Horseman upgrades coming in. So Myriad finally shifting to what I was hoping to see here. I mean, your horsemen do contest quite well. It's just about having an efficient front line. And if you're talking Arbitrary versus Streltsy as the back line, there's no doubt in my mind that Streltsy win. The only advantage Arbitrary have is Pavis drop, giving them extra range. But damage exchange-wise, they should always be losing out to the Gunny boys. Push out continues. Springall's moving up now. Cannon has arrived just in time to be sniped. Oh no! Oh, Myriad missed opportunity there. I think he could have microed that forward to get the cannon kill. But he's going to go for the Trebs instead. Keep being repaired. Trebs are going to have to pack up and run, but aren't going to be quick enough. Barely gets out of range there. Myriad, I think he's going to be fine here. Huffs the Hopium. He's blocking the decap on the north side. There's no way you dive with Arbitrary underneath a keep now. Cannon is moving in range. Springald's looking the wrong... What? I'm getting worried. I'm not so sure anymore. Myriad needs to reset. He needs to slow down. He's just trickling troops into the death right now. He realizes that Ford Rax is coming in as well. Has got elite army tactics now on the way. Castle looking like it's going to struggle to stay alive, though. 2 more Springals have popped out. The bell rings. 3 minutes to go. Louis might try for a sneak on the northern side again, but Myriad's a good boy. He's stuck one of every unit here, interestingly enough, as a ragtag group. I mean, if Louis goes double cannon here, he breaks this. But he needs to rush double cannon. Trebs are proving annoying. Myriad has got plenty of stone in reserve, though. Another cannon shot comes in. He's such a pain in the ass. If he sneaks in again, oh my lord. Now might be seeing that soon. Thank you for the raid, Lash. Hope you had a good one. We're into a good one here. 2 minutes and 15 seconds to go until a win for Myriad. Castle stays alive, barely. Mango's now arriving, and I think it's falling apart. Louis just doesn't have the food income that I'd like to see at this stage of the game. Farm count is sitting at 46, but you wouldn't believe it with that type of food income. It needs to be closer to 3,000. Oh, my goodness. You know what? I can't fault him. How many players could have made this game look this close? That's the impressive part to me. Like, this game looked like it should have been over a good 10 plus minutes ago. But Myriad, being a bit greedy, well, not greedy enough, shall we say, not just immediately going for a tech up, gave Louis this false sense of hope. But it didn't feel so false a few minutes ago. It looked like a real deal coming to life. Dive now comes in. Treb, cannon, should be able to clear it. Springals will trade out, but Castle's down, and oh my god. There's no way. I mean, this can't be happening right now. Arbitrary count is getting smaller. I don't think it's going to work. Pavisas are being abandoned, and I think the Streltsy crawl with the Rax units nearby may just be a little bit too much for Louis to nibble on. Northside Sacred Site. Walling attempts coming through. Unfortunately, the dive has leaked over onto the gold. And Louis MT, all of a sudden, not really looking that threatening anymore. Only 13 Arbitrary to his name. Massing a Horseman into Horseman Streltsy is a recipe for death. An ambitious keep by Myriad, to say the least. If you can't actually hit this trap one more time... Alright, it's gone. That's going to be it, then. Louis about to enter the most desperate phase of the game. Just over a minute left. You know, Myriad, he had me a bit worried, but can't fault him here. He played this really well. Wait. Myriad? No. No. It might be happening. Louis, why the greed? No way! I can't believe that! If he brought just 2 villagers, the walls would be up. But the decap gets blocked. Louis losing in the center and now losing where it mattered most in the north. That is it. No doubt about it. Castle going up. Biology only now coming through. There's going to be a dive in the center. Streltsy Mass has to stand their ground. That's not bad, folks. That means static redeployment is going to come through. With that, you can easily just wipe this cavalry unit. Mango isn't shooting off. Myriad in a bit of a panic right now. Count getting a little bit lower. Clock now down to just 55 seconds to go. No more clock blocking out of Louis. Siegeworks is coming through. If he somehow, some way beats Myriad in Siege while Myriad is playing the Rus, my jaw is going to drop to the floor. That should never be happening here. Gunpowder boys have arrived, so is the Mangonel. We'll push him away. Louis needs to start seeping onto the site. Castle drop coming in. Streltsy can't pay attention to it right now. They need to pay attention to the Horseman trickle. Crossbows behind this, trying to mop up, but Horseman now starting to break through. Spring will trade out on the backside, still favoring Louis. Mango does go down though, and the Streltsy now uncontested. That is it. No way left. Louis makes it look close, makes us bite our nails, but he is going to be the one nailed shut in his coffin. Myriad able to win it.